Imagine this, 6 months from now, your chest is popping, your arms are busting out of your sleeves, and nobody can say that you skip leg day any longer. Life is good. Or in 6 months, you're looking in the mirror, your shirt is baggy, your arms look like sticks, and you look like you've never even heard of what a leg day is. The difference of those who complete a successful, life-changing bulk and those who don't is simply starting the right way. When you start the right way, you can build momentum and give your body the time that it needs to grow. In this video, I'm gonna give you the 4 things that you need to line up to make sure that you start your bulk right. And guys, if you get value from this at any point, please hit that like button, leave a comment, because these videos keep going to native tribes in Africa and not guys like you who wanna build muscle. Thanks, appreciate that. The first thing that we need to do the right way is to calculate our calories and macros. Look, this is really simple if you know how to do it. You're gonna find a calorie calculator. This is the one I like. It's just on literally calculator.net. Make sure you find the right calorie calculator on there because there's a couple different ones. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna enter your information. If you know your body fat percentage, then what you can do is you can change the equation to Catch McCardle. Catch McCardle. Change it to Catch McCardle. Put in your body fat in the little box, and again, make sure you enter all the information that it asks for, and then it is going to calculate how much calories that you need to maintain your weight. And I say to look at the number for maintain your weight because we're gonna add our own calories to it, okay? So be patient, we're getting there. There's one thing that we gotta talk about before we get to how many calories that you're going to add to your maintenance number, and that is, where is your body fat? If you don't know your exact body fat percentage, that is completely okay. We don't necessarily need to know that. But what you need to do is look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Do you have a little bit of extra body fat? And just so you don't feel bad, that's not a bad thing at this point. All we're doing is using it to help us make a decision. If you do have a little bit of extra fat, then what you can do is just keep your calories at maintenance. It is possible to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, and we're gonna do it because we're gonna dial in every aspect of what you're doing here in this bulk. If you're on the skinnier side, meaning you don't have extra fat that you can use as an energy source to make up that gap between what your body needs and what it needs to build muscle, yes, it takes extra energy. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add 300 to 500 calories. Add more calories if you're really on that skinny side, 300 if you're on the skinny side, but you do still have a little bit of fat on you. And look, if you don't get these numbers perfect the first time, don't stress about it. You're gonna need to adjust these later down the road as you've gained muscle anyways. So just try it, see if it works. If you're not really gaining anything, then you can always add about 100 to 200 more calories at a time and then wait and see if it starts working. All right, the second part of this is calculating out your macronutrients. I'm not gonna go through that in this video because we would be here all day, but I'm gonna link down below in the description 3 videos that go through each part of this process. So once you finish this video, go over, watch the protein video, watch the carbohydrate video, watch the fat video, and those videos will help you calculate exactly how much of each macronutrient that you need. 2 things I really need you to not forget is, number 1, fiber. Make sure you're getting enough fiber. Men need about 38 grams of fiber per day, but there's also a way to calculate this, which is 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories you're consuming. So if your calories weren't around 3,000, meaning they were either much higher or much lower, then it's probably best that you just calculate out your fiber using this small equation that I've given you. If you're around 3,000 calories, it's gonna be pretty close to 38 grams anyways, and I think that's good enough. The second thing is hydration. Calculate out your hydration. It's super easy. You're just gonna take your body weight in pounds, divide by 2. That's gonna give you a baseline number. That's the amount of water that you need to consume every single day, including your rest days. Now you can add 20 fluid ounces per hour that you exercise, assuming you only exercise 1 to 2 hours per day. That's between 20 and 40 extra fluid ounces. And then I need you to remember that you get water from food. Think about watermelon. It's literally called watermelon. It has a ton of water in it. So don't stress about hitting exactly this number. If you're a little bit below it by just drinking water, you're probably actually getting more water than you actually need. Okay, again, before I move on, make sure that you watch those videos in the description after you finish this video, because that will help you get all of the numbers that you need to start this thing well. All right, let's move on to number 2. Find or create your workout program. This makes sense. If we want to build muscle, we need a stimulus that tells our body, hey brother, let's build some muscle. The reason I say you can create your own program is because even if you don't really have that much knowledge, you can literally go online, find a very basic workout program, or go on YouTube, because there's literally a million different workout programs here that you can take movements from. And really, you don't need anything too advanced or too crazy to just get started. Yes, as you get more advanced, periodization, making sure that you're dialed in, it makes more and more of a difference. But just starting your bulk, let's just get something rolling that's going to work using these couple rules. That being, stimulate, don't annihilate. You don't need to absolutely kill yourself every single workout in order to see progress, but you do want to challenge yourself. That means that on many of your sets, probably the last set of every exercise you do, you want to push it either to failure or as damn close as you can get without hurting yourself. Now, the whole thing about low weight, high reps, high weight, low reps, it doesn't necessarily matter. At the end of the day, if you're following that first principle, you're probably going to be doing fine. But I do recommend some lighter weights for some higher reps. So probably between the rep range of 8 and 12 is a safe bet, but not absolutely necessary. Because if you use a little bit lighter weights, you can really focus on form, challenging the muscle group that you're actually trying to work. And you're not gonna hurt yourself by trying to challenge a muscle while also lifting really, really heavy weights. Look, it's nice to mix in some heavy weights here and there, or if you're doing a strength phase, that's definitely important. But here, in this muscle building phase, we just want to challenge yourself. Dig deep, do a couple extra reps. You probably can do more than you think, and you're gonna stimulate those muscles to grow. Make sure you have great form, not just good form, great form. And if that means that you need to lower the weights for a little bit so that you can practice your form and really dial it in so that it is challenging that muscle that you are intending to work, then you're gonna see a lot more results than if you just lift heavy, it's ugly, and you're not really putting the pressure on that muscle. Okay, and the last thing that I'm gonna say is that your frequency for each muscle group should be at least 2 times per week. You can go up to 4, but just manage your volume and how it's spread out through the week if you're gonna go up that high. But at least 2 times per week is gonna be where you really see a good bang for your buck. Okay, number 3, plan your meals and snacks. You guys know I'm a dietitian. I focus more on nutrition. And I think this is really the hard part about it, is not just the nutrition and getting your numbers right and dialing in, but also making it count and be realistic for your life. I like to plan this out because once you're in the groove, then what you should just be focusing on is training hard, recovering well, and the day-to-day things that you need to be doing to stay consistent. But as you start your bulk, take an hour to plan it out. Figure out what your meals are gonna look like, how you're gonna fit them throughout your day, and where you need to use those more convenience items, things like protein shakes, granola bars, or the ready rice things that you microwave in 90 seconds and then it makes this whole thing of rice. Yeah, those convenient items, figure out where you're gonna put them in the day so that you can actually achieve your goals and hit your numbers day in and day out. And then try to figure out where can you get more whole foods that are going to provide more nutrients and give you that wider array so that you can also stay healthy, get your fiber in, and do all the things you need to do to perform your best day in and day out. There's a million websites out there now that you can use to get ideas for a meal prep. You can use Google and just search recipes and find things that you like, change them a little bit to your preferences so that they fit your macros and so that you can make them in a reasonable amount of time that you're willing to invest into the kitchen. And then once you have your plan, understand that it'll probably change because we don't want to just eat the same foods for 6 months. It's probably going to get boring. Then you can plug and play rather than having to recreate your entire diet every couple months. Number 4, figure out your supplementation. There are 4 supplements that I think almost everybody should be taking because they are the most correlated with your health and they're gonna provide the most value for the money that you spend. And those 4 are fish oils, magnesium, vitamin D, and everybody's favorite, creatine. If you use those 4 supplements, that's gonna cover probably 90% of people who are watching this. There are maybe some other supplements that some of you may benefit from, but that's gonna be really on a person-to-person basis. You might have to figure out, do a little digging of what nutrients that you're missing, or you can do like most people do, just take a general multivitamin that's probably gonna be good enough to cover most people who are watching this video. There are 2 supplements that I wanna give a little bit of a shout out to that could be beneficial. Protein powder, it's not as bad as everybody says. As long as you're not slamming like 5 to 10 shakes a day, then you're probably okay. 1 to 2 shakes per day can really help get your protein in. It can help make this thing fit into your lifestyle and be realistic. And it's not gonna hurt you in any way having a protein powder. The other supplement being pre-workout. Look, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of pre-workouts, but that's mostly because they're formulated really poorly, or they have ridiculous branding and a ton of stuff in them that you just simply do not need. I would go with a very simple pre-workout. I really like the brand by Chris Bumstead. I mean, who doesn't like Chris Bumstead? The Raw brand. You can either get the Essentials or you can get the Thavage, which has a little bit more nootropics in it. I think both are fine pre-workouts to be taking. If you don't want to take a pre-workout, don't feel like you need to. Instead, what you can do is just take some caffeine, whether that's black coffee or some kind of small caffeine pill. I wouldn't overdo it. Maybe an energy drink could be okay, depending on which one it is, but figure out what works for you, because caffeine is one of the most important ergogenic aids that you're going to use so that your training is just absolutely crazy and beneficial every time you get into the gym. Real quick, I want to give an honorable mention to sleep, because I mention it in almost every video. I didn't want to beat a dead horse, but sleep is so important. If you're not sleeping well, you are not growing. So make sure that you lock in your sleep. I have plenty of other videos on my channel that go through sleep, so check those out so that you can get the best tips and improve your sleep the best that you possibly can. Now, after talking about these 4.5, 5 things, I'm curious what you guys struggle with the most when it comes to your bulk. Now, if you guys want to dial in your bulk and make this upcoming fall and winter the best bulk that you have ever had, then check out this video, because you're going to want to lock in your nutrition, and I'm giving it away for free, all of it on my YouTube channel right here. So I'll see you over there.